Hi everybody, welcome back to Soul Pilates. Go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Center yourself, palms facing up, close your eyes and relax your breathing. Give yourself permission to relax. Feel your body sink through the mat and simultaneously stretch to the sky. Feel the strength in your body and simultaneously the sense of calm. When I don't like something, I change it. If I can't change it, I change how I think about it. As you grow older, you will discover you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. We need joy as we need air. We need love as we need water. We need each other as we need the earth we share. If you have only one smile on you today, give it to someone you love. When I don't like something, I change it. If I can't change it, I change how I think about it. As you grow older, you will discover you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. Whenever you're ready, you can bring your attention back into the room, wiggle your fingers, and open your eyes. Let's go through our Pilates setup. Hip width, the size of 2 fists between your feet and your knees. Your shoe size roughly, heels to glutes. And you can roll your back down onto the mat. Check in with your pelvis position, imprint and arch. Roll your back into the mat and arch, and then you can find the center for a neutral pelvis position. Lower ribs are heavy, so you're not flaring the rib cage. Hands onto the outsides of the ribs. Inhale and open the ribs wide. Exhale, knit the ribs together. Breathe deep and wide. Exhale, knit the ribs together. And again. When you're ready, hands by the sides, reach your hands to the end of the room, the armpits draw down the sides of the body, shoulders back opening up across your chest, your collarbones. Just make sure you don't flare the rib cage, so your mid back, your lower ribs are heavy, your tailbone is heavy, gentle chin knot. Get your brain into the back of the pelvic floor. Using those muscles feels like you're holding in wind. Front of the pelvic floor feels like you're holding in P, so think about zipping up the pelvic floor. Take a breath in. With your exhale, front and back of the pelvic floor lift. Scoop your belly tracing up along your back and knit your ribs in and down. Breathe in and open the ribs wide. Exhale, find your pelvic floor. Scoop your belly up along your back and knit your ribs in and down. Once more, breathe in and out. Breathe in to prepare. With your exhale, nice and strong through the center, stabilize your spine. Lift your left knee into tabletop. Breathe in, switch on your core, lift the right knee into tabletop. Squash the knees and ankles together. Feel the difference between flaring your rib cage and pressing the lower ribs down. As your lower ribs press against the mat, your whole rib cage adjusts. So we come towards neutral and it lengthens the front of your neck. Maintain this mid-back connection. So when you inhale, the ribs open wide. When you exhale, they draw in and down instead of forwards and backwards. So you keep that bone connection with the back of the body. Tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy, shoulders back. Even holding this position here is working our postural fibers. For our first exercise, with your exhale, you scoop through the center and tap your right toes. Inhale to the side of the ribs and lift the leg. Exhale, switch on through the center, tap your left toes. Inhale and lift the leg. It's slow and controlled here. So pelvic floor, abs, ribs. Exhale fully. Inhale, open the ribs out. Then the second side, so you move with the breath. Connect to the center. Exhale, zip up through the center. Think of the back of your body, your bony landmarks, and inhale. When you're ready, you've got 5 rounds.
I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better.
In your own time, we're going to separate the knees and ankles, scoop through the core. Imagine there's a weight attached to each ankle. Switch on your abs, lower the weight of the right leg all the way down onto the floor. Inhale. With your exhale, switch on the abs, lower the left leg. Walk your feet forward so they're further away from your bum, somewhere where your toes can stay down. Dig your heels into the mat and draw your heels towards you. You feel the back of the legs get involved. Float your arms. Draw your armpits down the sides of the body, reaching forward. Your pelvis is neutral, so instead of cramming your back into the mat, you have that nice neutral space. Lower ribs heavy, switch on the core. Exhale, reinforce the core and come forward into ab prep. Make sure you're not jamming your back into the mat. Leave this nice neutral space. Anytime you need to lower the shoulders down, support your head or take a break, please do. Draw your heels towards you, feel the core work. Chest is forward and proud, lower ribs are down. Pump the arms. You want to keep your legs and your spine as steady as possible. You're going to inhale for 5 breaths and exhale for 5 breaths, and we're going to pulse the breath. Nice and mindful here. Keep connecting to the footwork, your heels dragging towards you, scooping through the core, reinforcing that with your exhales. Lower ribs heavy and reaching forward with the hands. You have 7 rounds.
I never make someone a priority when all I am to them is an option. I never make someone a priority when all I am to them is an option. I never make someone a priority when all I am to them is an option.
Lower the shoulders down, you really feel the abs. Let your head out from side to side and just relax your neck. Slide your heels a little bit closer towards your bum, so your starting position, your shoe size roughly. Heels to glutes. Check in with your pelvis. Draw the armpits down, reaching the hands across the room, shoulders back, lower ribs down. Breathe into the side of your ribs. Exhale, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, right knee into tabletop. Breathe in. With your exhale, switch on the core, left knee into tabletop. Squash your knees and ankles together. Lower ribs are heavy. Inhale to reach the arms in line with the ears. We don't want the mid-back to pop away from the mat, your ribs to flare, so your lower ribs are heavy. Exhale, you're going to push the air down. You can keep the knees bent or the legs can push forward. Inhale, back to tabletop, arms in line with the ears. Really mindful, so we're not like this. Make sure you keep that tabletop position 90 degrees behind the knees. Tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy. Think of your spine. Exhale, press it forward. And inhale, arms in line with the ears. Exhale, and inhale to the side of the ribs. You have 7.
If you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. If you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be.
You can continue with this version or do the same exercise but from ab prep. Inhale, arms in line with the ears. Exhale, press it forward. You choose to go back a level or modify. Inhale and exhale. You have 7.
You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have.
When you're ready, roll it back, hug your knees in, rock your knees from side to side, let your head out from side to side. The arms could reach out and you can bring your knees from one side of the floor to the other. If that suits your back, it's up to you. Whenever you're ready, come back to the center, release your knees into tabletop, squash the knees and ankles together, crawl the fingers down along the mat, shoulders back, lower ribs heavy. Take a breath in, float your arms, exhale, scoop through the core and come forward. We always come forward with this ab prep to train the muscles that are going to fire to support the weight of the arms, legs and head from the core work. Hands behind the head, relax the shoulders so you're not pushing the head forward. You scoop the belly and knit the ribs towards your pelvis. So we're going to create a diamond shape with the legs, toes together, knees apart. You want to keep your tailbone heavy and most importantly, your lower ribs heavy so we maintain neutral. You're going to inhale the right ankle on top and exhale the left ankle on top. Get loads of movement through the hips. Keep steady with the core. You have 5.
Success is liking yourself, liking what you do and how you do it. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do and how you do it.
That's your option 1. You can continue with that version. Or back to tabletop, you stretch the legs, heels together, toes apart, so you have a V shape between the feet. And then we inhale the right ankle on top, exhale the left ankle on top. This can be up to the ceiling or at a slight diagonal for an increased ab challenge, so you choose. You have 5.
I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. Now that I know better, I do better.
You can continue with level 1 or level 2. Otherwise, back to the starting position, heels together, toes apart, or toes together, knees apart. Open the elbows wide, draw the armpits down. Make sure your head doesn't travel backwards. So you scoop the belly, knit the ribs so you're forward. So we're going to come to a rotation and back to the center, but it's forward. Use the upper abs. So when you rotate, you don't come back to this kind of shallow position. Scoop the belly, knit the ribs and come into ab prep. So as you rotate to the right elbow, your right toes are going to go on top. Inhale through center, left elbow, left toes on top. Inhale and exhale. And the legs could be at a diagonal for added challenge. Inhale and exhale. You have 5 rounds.
Hate has caused a lot of problems in the world, but not solved one yet. Hate has caused a lot of problems in the world, but not solved one yet. Hate has caused a lot of problems in the world, but not solved one yet.
Come back to the center, hug your knees in, just relax the front of the legs, relax your lower back. Let your knees out from side to side, let your head out from side to side. Breathe into your back, your belly, your ribs, your chest. And exhale. When you're ready, center up, release your knees into tabletop, scoop through the core, reach the arms across the room. Exhale, use the core to come forward, head, neck and shoulders lift, hands behind the head and give the weight of the head away. You're going to exhale to lengthen your left leg at a diagonal. Inhale to draw it back. Exhale right leg and inhale to draw it back. That's option 1. If you want to make this a little more challenging, the leg lowers 3/4 of the way to the floor maximum and you lift it back in. Lowers, we're not going all the way to the floor, so scoop your belly and feed the leg into the abs and then inhale. So you can choose your level at a diagonal or lower, putting more weight onto the core. Scoop the belly and let the ribs come forward, nice and slow for 5 rounds.
My great hope is to laugh as much as I cry, to try to love somebody and have the courage to accept love in return. My great hope is to laugh as much as I cry, to try to love somebody and have the courage to accept love in return.
When you're ready, lower the shoulders down, right foot down, stretch your left leg up to the ceiling. Reach through your toes, your ankle, your knee and your hip. Your hands are going above or below the knee, just not at the back of the knee, so not at this joint capsule, so above or below. It's okay if there's a little bend in the knee. You're just at your absolute maximum straightest point for your own body at the moment, and only go above if it's completely comfortable. We're going to lightly encourage the leg towards us with the fingertips, so you're not pulling it towards you. Keep your tailbone down, stretch up, and then just tease the leg towards you. Somewhere where if you were to let go, the leg wouldn't go really far away, so you're not pulling it with all your might. It's length and strength together. Keep stretching up. Every time you exhale, stretch a bit more. Inhale to your belly. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to your belly. Exhale, reach. Once more. You can keep this right knee bent, or you can straighten the leg out along the mat to open up the front of your hip if it suits your back. Reach even more with this top leg, so we're quite active and you encourage the stretch towards you. And again, it's okay if the shape isn't exactly right, you just feel a stretch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale fully and exhale fully. Once more, keep stretching up. When you're ready, let this left leg go, bend the knee and place the foot down, lift the right leg all the way up to the ceiling. Hands above or below the knee, just not at the back of the knee. And it's okay if there's a little bend in the knee, you just feel a stretch. We're not curling our tailbone off the ground, tailbone is heavy. Reach through your toes, your ankle, your knee and your hip and encourage the leg towards you. Relax your shoulders. Very little work here with the fingertips. Breathe in. Exhale and reach. Breathe into your ribs, your belly, your back. Reach. And again. You can continue here if this suits you, or you can stretch out that left leg, only if it's okay for your back. Reach even more through the right leg, relax your shoulders, breathe in. Big belly breath. Once more. Take the second leg up to meet your floating leg. Bend your knees and hug your knees in. Just relax your hamstrings. Rock your knees from side to side. Let your head out from side to side. And when you're ready, you can come back to the center. Roll forward or use your hands to come forward, whatever suits you. And we're meeting in this seated position. Get your heels further away from your bum and sit up nice and tall. Reach the arms in front. If you stretch forward, your shoulder blades separate. The opposite of that, you draw your shoulder blades together. Feel the difference between this stretching and this retracting, and find the center where you're not separating your shoulder blades too much, you're not squeezing them together. Your shoulders are nice and flat against your rib cage. Get your brain gently into the front and the back of the pelvic floor, holding in P, holding in wind. Scoop your belly and knit your ribs. There's a slight adjustment here with the rib cage and the mid back, and we have that support for the spine. Inhale to the side of the ribs. Exhale, scoop out the belly like an ice cream scoop and tuck your tailbone, and this creates your C curve. It's okay if the legs slide a little with you. Inhale to the side of the ribs, stabilize, challenge your slow twitching deep muscles. Exhale, scoop the belly and come forward. Inhale, roll and stack lower back, mid back, upper back, but aware of your rib cage. You're using the sides of the ribs, that lateral breath. Exhale. You have 7.
Seek patience and passion in equal amounts. Patience alone will not build the temple. Passion alone will destroy its walls. Seek patience and passion in equal amounts. Patience alone will not build the temple. Passion alone will destroy its walls. Seek patience and passion in equal amounts. Patience alone will not build the temple. Passion alone will destroy its walls. Seek patience and passion in equal amounts.
And you can relax your shoulders. You're going to interlock your fingers behind your back and open up your chest. You can lift your chin and just give a stretch to the opposite side of the body than we were just working. If you like, you can lengthen out the legs, or you can do this with the knees bent. You're bringing your chest towards your knees. Anchor down and feel the back of the legs stretch. Again, it's okay if your chest is towards bent knees instead. Reach it forward, anchor down, then release the arms and go for a deep spine stretch. Now roll and stack your back and relax your shoulders. You're going to open the legs out a little wider than the hips. This can be done with a little bend in the knees, or the legs can be straight again. Anchor down and pull your toes up towards the knees. If you need a break with the feet at any time, they can point. Find your shoulder position, reaching forwards and backwards. Find the center, draw the armpits down. Get your brain very gently into the front and the back of the pelvic floor. Scoop your belly and knit your ribs. Open the elbows wide and enjoy that stretch across your chest. Inhale. Inhale again and turn as far as you can to the right without your legs shifting, so it's like you're sitting in cement. You're going to reach back and then lift and hinge forward. So instead of rounding, your chest is going towards your knee. You can saw the outside of your knee, your ankle, or your little toe. And remember the back arm. So reach in 2 different directions. It will increase your rotation. Inhale to the center. Inhale and twist as far as you can. Reach back and forwards. Inhale. Anchor the legs down. You have 5 rounds.
Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Invite one to stay. Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Invite one to stay. Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Invite one to stay. We need joy as we need air. We need love as we need water. We need each other as we need the earth we share.
Back to the center, relax your shoulders, relax the front of the hips. If you want to, arms behind the back, open up your chest towards the knees, creating loads of slack around your hip flexors. And then you can stretch forward for a deep spine stretch. Breathe in and out. When you're ready, roll and stack. Coming to a side lying position, I'm starting on my right side. If you'd like to mirror me, you can be on your left side. You can lie down flat, cradle the head, or support the head, whatever suits your neck and shoulders better. Bending the knees, it's a 90-degree angle, so just make sure your feet aren't back here. So you're in line with your mat. 90-degree angle from the hips. If the top knee is further back than the bottom knee, your hips are not stacked. So make sure your knees are on top of each other. It will help with the stacking of your hips. Your hand can stay on your hips or it can be in front for balance, whatever suits you better. We're going to float this top leg and stretch it out. Whatever the top leg does, you don't want the bottom leg to peel. So you're pressing into your ankle, knee, hip. Draw the armpits down, lengthen your neck. Just get your brain into the center of the body, so make your connections. Reach through your toes, your ankle, your knee and your hip. Very gently turn the knee slightly outwards. If that's not available, parallel is okay. Press down as you pull up. We inhale, then you're going to flex the foot, push through the heel, and exhale, so you stretch the back of the leg. Point your toes, reach, and inhale. Flex, push through the heel, and exhale. You have 8, nice and slow with your breath.
Loving someone liberates the lover as well as the beloved. Loving someone liberates the lover as well as the beloved. Loving someone liberates the lover as well as the beloved. Loving someone liberates the lover as well as the beloved.
Hold the leg here. You're going to turn back to parallel and keep this flexion in the ankle, so you're pulling the toes up towards the knee. You don't want this to happen with the upper body, so keep that length through the neck, through the spine, scoop through the core, hips are stacked. You're going to hinge from the hip and inhale forward. Enjoy that release through the calves and the hamstrings like an internal massage. Point your toes and exhale to pedal back. So you can go back to the straight line. If you go further, make sure that your knee doesn't peel off the ground. So you can flex the foot, push through the heel. You're always going for length here. There's a little mouse hole space underneath the lower side of the body. Armpits down, lengthen the neck. Inhale to hinge, point your toes, reach, and exhale. Nice and slow for 8.
If you find it in your heart to care for somebody else, you will have succeeded. If you find it in your heart to care for somebody else, you will have succeeded. If you find it in your heart to care for somebody else, you will have succeeded.
You can repeat that exercise if you like, or we're going to turn it into bicycle. So inhale, bend the knee through, flex your foot, and exhale to push an imaginary pedal backwards. Inhale, you point the toes, bend the knee, straighten the leg and bend at the ankle. Exhale to push it back. Inhale and exhale. You have 8.
I alone am enough. I have nothing to prove to anybody. I alone am enough. I have nothing to prove to anybody. I alone am enough. I have nothing to prove to anybody. I alone am enough. I have nothing to prove to anybody.
We're going to reverse the direction. So you bring the leg forward, then bend the knee, bend the foot, and push your heel back like you're pushing a pedal. Point your toes, hinge at the hip, bend, and press it back. You have 8.
If I'm not good to myself, how can I expect anyone else to be good to me? If I'm not good to myself, how can I expect anybody else to be good to me? If I'm not good to myself, how can I expect anybody else to be good to me?
When you're ready, lower the leg down. We'll do all of that on the second side. You can take your time swapping over. Choose your upper body position and modify if you need to. Bend the knees, 90-degree angle from the hip. Hips are stacked, knees are stacked to start with. Relax the shoulders. You lengthen away through the tailbone so there's a little space underneath the lower side of the body. Float the top leg, stretch it out. Reach through your toes as if someone's pulling your toes away from your ankle. Ankle away from the knee. Knee away from the hip. Get that length, get that mouse hole. Gently turn your knee up to the ceiling, so feel the ball and socket joint work. Feel the external hip rotators at play. If you prefer to keep the knee parallel or this external rotation is not available, that's okay. And just listen to the body and make the movement smaller. Press down while you pull up. You bend the foot, push through the heel. So we're not doing this. You're still long through the body, mouse hole space, and you're pushing down through the heel. Point your toes, inhale up, mouse hole space, flex and lower down. You have 8.
When I don't like something, I change it. If I can't change it, I change how I think about it. If I don't like something, I change it. If I can't change it, I change how I think about it.
When you're ready, turn the knee to parallel, push through the heel. So you have this length and the hips stack. You hinge forward from the hip, inhale. Feel the release through the calves and the hamstring, point your toes, and exhale. You choose how far back. This knee needs to stay down. You have 8.
People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel.
You can repeat the forward back exercise, or we're going to go for bicycle. Thread the leg forward, flex at the ankle, push back with the heel. You have 8.
All great achievements require time. All great achievements require time. All great achievements require time. All great achievements require time.
You're going to reverse the direction. So bring the leg forward. You're pointing the toes. You bend the knee, flex at the ankle and push back through the heel. Point your toes and hinge forward. Bend, bend and press. Loads of length through the body here, so you have your mouse hole space. We have 8. And you can lower it down. We're coming to a cross-legged position. Cross the ankles over, tuck your tailbone under, crawl the fingers forward, keep pressing back into the tailbone, feel that stretch in the outside of the hips. Get your elbows lower to the ground if it's available. Take a deep breath into your back, exhale fully, let everything go. Inhale and exhale. Whenever you're ready, we're coming to an all fours position.
You can go to one side or come through the ankles like I did. Checking our setup, hip width, the size of 2 fists between the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, spread your fingers wide. Line up your neck through the rest of your spine, so feel that neck feeding through the spine, the length back through the tailbone and forward through the crown of the head. We don't want any pinched skin at the back of the neck, so think about your head position. We're not hanging forward and you're not looking up to the ceiling. So feel the difference between those neck positions, find the center. We're really mindful here as we scan the body. Soften the elbows, draw your armpits down away from the ears. Think about your shoulder blade position, slide together and apart, slide together and apart. Find the center for neutral, check your pelvis, tilt up and down, find the center for neutral. Press into the front of the feet. Bring your brain gently into the front and the back of the pelvic floor. Scoop your belly up along your spine and knit your ribs in and down so we feel that support, like a sling underneath your hips, holding you up towards the ceiling. Exhale and lengthen your right leg back behind you. Reach through the toes, the ankle, the knee and the hip. Keep stretching backwards. Make sure that we don't side bend or flex and extend the back. The center of the body is stable. Keep stretching the leg and start to draw circles with your big toe. Inhale for half, exhale for half. Keep the center of the body steady. You have 8. Reverse the direction. Stretch the leg straight back, then draw it in. Lengthen your second leg back, reach through the toes, the ankle, the knee and the hip. Check in with your upper body, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, armpits drawing down. Lengthen the neck, reach forward through the crown of the head. Make sure that the center of the body is stable, knit your ribs together, and we're doing circles with the big toe. Inhale for half a circle, exhale for half. Reverse the direction. Stretch the leg back behind you and draw it in. You can come onto the elbows and take a break. If it suits your knees, you can sit fully back into a shell pose. Stretch the arms forward, breathe into your back. Exhale fully, let everything go. Inhale deep into your back along your spine and exhale fully to let everything go. In your own time, we're coming forward onto all fours, making our way down onto the belly. Legs are close together, reach through your toes, ankles, knees and hips. Elbows are down, relax your shoulders, spread your fingers out. Get your brain gently into the front and the back of the pelvic floor. Scoop your belly, it draws you closer to the mat, and knit your ribs in and down. You're tucking the tailbone and pressing into the front of the legs. Feel the brain connect to the co-contraction between the back and the front of the body. We're going to inhale to peel the upper body. You choose how big this is. As you exhale, the legs lift. It's more about stretching than it is about reaching high, so reach from the front of the legs. Inhale to peel the upper body. Exhale, lower as the legs lift, like a seesaw. Head comes up, feet lower. When the feet start to lift, the head starts to lower, so feel that rocking horse. If you'd like to push the whole way up, you can. If that back extension is too much, you can adjust your hand position. The hands can be further forward as long as the shoulders stay down. Make sure that the elbows go back down onto the ground as well, so we're not winging the shoulder blades. So elbows are down and you can choose your hand position. Inhale to peel the upper body, exhale lower as the legs lift and stretch behind you. Inhale and exhale. Whenever you're ready, you can lower it down. We're pressing back onto all fours. Enjoy the stretch through the back of the legs as you curl the toes under. Go for a cat-cow stretch and just relax into the center of your body again. You can go to one side with the legs or cross the ankles over and come through. We're staying in a cross-legged position for our meditation. Allow yourself to sit comfortably. Feel all the strength around your spine after we worked the muscles that are going to support our spine in this seated position. Notice how much stronger you feel now compared to the start of the class with this seated position for meditation. Palms face up, relax through the center, and close your eyes. We pray to the power of the universe. Whoever we pray to, the universe listens and responds to whatever we ask for. Dear universe, thank you for your presence during the hard and mean days. For then we have you to lean upon. Thank you for your presence during the bright and sunny days. For then we can share that which we have with those who have less. For those who have no voice, we ask you to speak. For those who feel unworthy, we ask you to pour your love out in waterfalls of tenderness. For those who live in pain, we ask you to bathe them in the river of your healing. For those who are lonely, we ask you to keep them company. For those who are depressed, we ask you to shower upon them the light of hope. Dear universe, you, the borderless sea of substance, we ask you to give to all the world that which we need most: peace. We give to all the world that which we need most: peace. We give to all the world that which we need most: peace. You can start to bring your attention back into your body, wiggle your fingers and your toes, go for a stretch if you like. Allow yourself to rest and open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me for this Soul Pilates class. I hope you're enjoying all of the classes, feeling the benefits layer, feeling the affirmations lift you up. I hope you feel great after the exercise portions of the class, that mind-body-spirit connection. I look forward to seeing you on the next class. Thanks so much, everybody.